Kim Kardashian is pleading for the transient launch of the incarcerated father of one of the victims of the Uvalde College capturing so that he can attend his daughter's funeral. Ileana Ellie Cruz Torres, 10 years old, and one of the 19 victims of the taking pictures of Uvalde, Texas, Kardashian wrote on Twitter alongside a smiling image of the girl. Her household is desperately hoping that her father, who's incarcerated for a non-violent drug offense, be granted transient launch so that he can attend her funeral. So ways their requests have been denied, she continued. I asked the @official FBOP to supply Eli Torres transient launch so that he can say his final goodbye to his toddler girl. Every mother or father deserves that right. Ileana Torres used to be one of 19 college students killed on May 24th in the mass capturing at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, after an 18-year-old gunman stormed in and opened fire. Eli Torres is presently serving time for drug trafficking and conspiracy at the McCreary United States Penitentiary in Pine Knot, Kentucky. Just days after his daughter's death, Eli Torres instructed the Houston Chronicle from in the back of the bars that he'd been advised with the aid of officers that he wouldn't be granted launch for the funeral and would have to provide her virtually. The selections I made prices me. I ought to have averted this from happening somehow, some way as a father, he said. I ought to have stopped it somehow, protected her. The former Keeping Up with the Kardashians famous star isn't the solely public parent to suggest for the grieving fathers his brief release. Kentucky Rep. Attica Scott additionally penned a letter to President Joe Biden asking for Eli Torres to have the chance to attend his daughter's funeral, while the Bureau of Prisons has denied their request to enable Ileana's father to attend her funeral. Our advocacy on behalf of her household should persist, Scott wrote on Twitter whilst posting a replica of the letter. In the letter, which was once additionally copied to Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, Scott stated that Ileana had been scheduled to go to her father this week earlier than she was once killed. If Ileana's father's rehabilitation file and conduct as an inmate would merit, this household would appreciably respect him to be in a position to unite with them as they mourn the loss of their household member, Ileana Cruz Torres, Scott wrote. She later brought, anything you can do to assist these households is notably appreciated. Eli Torres instructed the Houston Chronicle that in the days after his daughter's unexpected death, he's been struggling with nightmares. The days and nights they're dark, he said. I can't see no light. He typically talked with his daughter on the telephone about softball and motivated her to be wondering about the existence in front of her. The younger girl's aunt now informed nearby station Ken's that on the day of her death, Ileana Torres had been excited about her remaining softball of recreation of the season, which had been scheduled for later that day. She used to be a variety of nervous, she said, when the household used to be nonetheless aware of her fate. I talked to her final nighttime and she used to be a variety of nervous, pronouncing that it was once her ultimate recreation and she didn't prefer softball to end. The household later tested to CNN that she had been one of the 19 college students killed. Our infant won her wings, her aunt Leandra Vera said.